Hello, welcome everyone to this initiative Saturdays for Sustainability Learning. And today we have very basic topic, which is what is sustainability. So I think it's going back to the basics for today. And this is an initiative where every week we discuss one sustainability topic, one sustainability issue, and try to understand it in a holistic manner. So this is the initiative about understanding a topic with different perspectives. Okay, so what I would call it as a mastermind group, and if you are new to this concept, so it's very old concept put forth by Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich. But the concept is very simple. It's the concept of synergy. And what is synergy? If you would ask, so it's one plus one. We are always taught that one plus one is equals to two. But the synergy is there are infinite possibilities of combination of two, one plus one. So in the same way, there are infinite learning possibilities when two person come together, and that is the effort that we will have in this 1 hour. That we would like to discuss the topic, we would like to understand it more than our individual capacity. Okay, and for that, we all are learners, we all are experts into this session. So it's not a one expert leading the discussion, but it's we all are learners, we all are discussing this topic together. Okay, so what are the outcomes that you can expect? It's very simple. First is learning new concept every week. In our busy working life, it's not possible to devote separate time for learning. And though uh, if we devote time also, sustainability is such a dynamic field. It's not possible for one person to stay up to dated with all the latest updates and changes. So it's always better to come together and discuss and learn from each other. So this is a 1 hour dedicated for this purpose. Second is networking with fellow professionals. We get to know different things with people from different socio-economical background, educational background, geographical background. So that's a wonderful opportunity of learning. Third is different opportunities in terms of career or learning opportunities. And fourth is the thought leadership, because we do have some wonderful people joining in this session. So it's a great opportunity to learn from their expertise and also to add our experiences to it. Okay, so how do we connect? And as you have joined the session, so you might have received the link. Okay, but if you haven't, so I would recommend you to register through this link so that you will get the calendar invite. Okay. Yeah, so I'll share this link later in the chat. Okay. But what is the idea? I'll just within 30 seconds I'll just explain. And this is DIKW pyramid. So that is data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. So what I feel is we have more data and information available today than all our previous generation. But what we lack is the knowledge and specific application of it. Knowledge and wisdom is something that we get with experience. With it takes some effort, and that is something that we would like to gain from this initiative. And second, the basic foundation of this session is question and answers, and discussion is the best way to learn. It's not possible just by reading or watching videos, but best way of learning is discussing it with people. So that is something that we would like to explore in this session. And I would request everyone, please feel free to share your experiences, your thoughts. This is non-judgmental group, non-judgmental forum. So please feel free to ask your questions or add your point of view. We would love to hear your life experiences as well. All right, with this short introduction, today's topic is understanding sustainability in different activities. So what exactly is sustainability, and can it be applicable? Can we have one definition that can be applicable to all the things, all the items, all the activities, all the industries? So whether that is possible or not, that is open exploratory question that we would like to solve today. And before starting, I'll just quickly share some of the points for our discussion, and then we can open it. Okay. So first and foremost is, if may I ask you, what is sustainability to you? Anybody would like to share, please? What is sustainability?
Ability to survive.
Perfect. Ability to survive, ability to sustain. So sustainability
Sustain
will,
means survive.
yeah,
Sustain plus ability.
yes. So sustainability is
We are
nothing but sustain plus
ultimately,
ability. Yeah,
yeah, ultimate goal is to survive. Thrive,
yes,
survive, and
yes,
like that.
absolutely.
Simple
Uh,
definition.
okay, ability to survive under the present conditions. What are
Mm-hmm.
relevant present conditions?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I put it more. We should adapt to the current moment and able to
Mm-hmm.
survive for the moment, not think about
Right.
the past or future too much. Uh,
Right. Yes. So sustainability, yeah, so I can see one stat as well. Sustainable usage of resources. Absolutely. Because all our lives are interrelated in terms of uses of energy. So that is the one common point with all the living things. We consume energy. Yes. So how do we have sustainable, proper use of energy? Yes, absolutely. So we cannot say one definition is wrong and other some definition is correct just because United Nations have defined it in one way or our common future. So that was the first time I guess the definition came forth by Brundtland report, Brundtland definition. But I would just like to share one short video, and this is a video where I try to explain it in this simple example of magical pot. Okay, and the beauty of this video is even I showed this to school children, so they like the video, and at the same time I showed this to working professionals or youth. So it's a common across all the people. So I'll just try it over here as well. So just see it, and we will discuss it further. Just a minute. Let me check whether audio is shared. We will start to understand. All right. So I guess video audio is also shared now. The basic concepts of sustainability. Can you hear? In this video, we will try to understand concept of sustainability, its origin, types of sustainability. I hope you can listen. Three pillars of it. You could hear it. Let's start with what is sustainability? Okay. Sustainability. Okay. Just a minute. So somehow video is not shown. Okay. Now I guess I figured it out. Yeah. Can you please confirm now? Three pillars of it. Let's start with what is sustainability? I hope you can see the video now. Sustainability is very critical to understand. It first emerged as an explicit social, environmental, and economic ideal in the late 1970s. Let's see first the definition of sustainable development. It has been defined by the Brundtland Commission in its famous report called Our Common Future, also known as Brundtland Report in 1987, as the development that fulfills the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And the development thus achieved is the sustainable development, and the property belonging to the processes and the system is called sustainability. It's about long-term thinking with respect to resource consumption and waste disposal in order to preserve the livable conditions on the earth for a long time. To understand it in simple terms, let's take one example. Suppose there is one very big magical pot in which every night 2 gold coins are deposited, and it is up to the user in the next day to take out coins to use for his or her daily expenses. The maximum coins that can be accumulated in pot are 100 coins. Means every day it gets filled to 100 coins by addition of 2 coins. At start, that person uses only 1 coin as his needs are very limited. But after that, his needs increase and he begins to take 2 coins. Up to this 2 coins level, the pot remains full as 2 coins are deposited and 2 coins are expended every day, and so the balance is maintained. But over the years, when the needs of that person are increased beyond 2 coins, now he takes out 3 coins each day. Addition of 2 coins and removal of 3 coins means net 1 coin is removed each day. This will deplete the pot in 100 days. In 100th day, the pot will be empty.
During this process, slowly the stock of coins in the magical pot decreases day by day, and once the pot becomes empty, it cannot add even its 2 coins also, and this diminishes the magical ability of that pot to deliver even a single coin. In the above example, we can relate the magical pot to the nature, which provides all our basic necessities such as air, water, food, and the climate that is necessary for our existence. But we are now extracting more than the capacity of nature to fulfill our needs. And here comes the role of sustainability. If we consider each new day as a new generational time, then through generation by generation, the capacity of that pot to fulfill human needs is decreasing and ultimately one day exhausted. So here comes the question, what should be the optimal consumption, the optimal extraction that can be drawn from that pot, and that is sustainability. Being this case is very simplistic for our understanding, actual natural systems are far more complex and interrelated. But in this case of magical pot, sustainability is a system that maintains the amount of extraction to 2 coins, which can be extracted up to infinite time without affecting the ability of that pot to give us 2 coins to sustain the living of future generations. But does this guide us to choose our everyday actions, whether they are sustainable or not? Well, exactly no. It requires some more efforts. We will deal with that in our coming videos. Now, let's see etymological history of sustainability, means how the word came into existence. The concept has been in use from old days as early as 17th century. Sustainable and sustainability both derive from Latin word sustenere, which is combination of sub means up from below and tenere, which means to hold, maintain, support, sustain or endure. From Latin the word came to Old French soutenir and modern French as soutenir. From here it came to English as a verb to sustain. Adjective sustainable came to usage around 1965 and the noun sustainability in 1970s. The focus of the early definition was only about ecological sustainability, but later on the scope of the concept widened to accommodate more diverse issues as below. Classification of sustainability. Sustainability can be classified into 3 major types: ecological sustainability, economic sustainability, and social sustainability. These 3 types are broadly the classification on the basis of which of the effects or processes we are looking at. You need to see sustainability through the C, that is SEE, social, environmental or ecological, and economical. We will delve deeper into these 3 pillars in
Okay, all right. So this was all about what is sustainability. So one major question that comes here is, so is sustainability something coming from West or United Nations? And so because sustainability or sustainable development that has been popularized after, let's say, 1970s, 1980s. So before that, were we not sustainable? So that is the question. And what are your thoughts on this? Let's open this for discussion.
Uh, I can
Yes,
comment.
Siddesh. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I think we stopped becoming sustainable after Industrial Revolution. Once we started extracting fossil fuels at a staggering rate and started dumping CO2 into the atmosphere, right? And also we came to know the methods of extracting minerals and other things. So that actually increased the scale of it. We had already started before Industrial Revolution, I feel, with agriculture because we started destroying forests in a way. But the scale was still manageable. Industrial Revolution gave it a exponential angle, like it into 100 times of the scale what humanity was consuming. Invention of aeroplanes, all this stuff. So I think it's we can draw a causal loop diagram to understand the variables which must have pushed the scale of development But I feel that's where it started, and that's where we started realizing that there are limits to growth, and that if we grow at this rate, that the planet will not be able to survive. Yeah. Thanks.
Right. Yes. Anybody other would like to comment? Was the video useful in some way? So I would also like to get some feedback as well.
Brother, I
Yes.
am open-minded. This is all a concept of the Western or European countries. Overshadow all the other communities or countries to have their upper hold and make everybody under their regime or control. I mean, I look in a totally larger spec. Whereas if you look from our heritage and values were 10,000, 5,000 years back and all, we were far, far ahead of all these creatures who are now you're calling them as Western and all, who have no knowledge of their own body. I'm telling you, even the very intestine is such a big subject if one can understand and learn. We just eat everything just like that, all because of the Western culture. But actually no hold on the taste, on the method of eating or drinking water or air or anything. Very basic, fundamental I'm talking. Or as like a creature only I'm talking, not as human. Just like an animal or a creature or something. So my vision is totally different. You may feel bad.
No, I agree with one point that we should not take whatever is coming from West just because it's coming from West. So we should question it. We should not copy it. We should have our critical thinking. Maybe we should ask critical question whether that is really required for us or not.
But then,
is it? Yeah.
If you look at it, they make you psychologically in different way. I mean, all the leaders also have been fed and so much from different countries, different ways, all the political parties over the last 50, 70 years, to make us virtually again slaves only. We were slaves during Mughal and also during the British period, and now through Indians only we are getting slaved. Our own brothers and sisters, I'm talking. We are getting slaved.
Ultimately, education should be, maybe education should make us free in terms of thinking the different choices. Right.
Even the education itself, I'm telling you, brother, only from point of survival and existence. I saw yesterday a girl, she just graduation, somehow in army or air force, she got a 50,000 salary. After 3 months or 4 months, they removed her. She is now doesn't want to accept any job below 50,000. So she has become psychologically down and brain dead. I mean, her mother is so serious, ill and all, and she should take care of her. But see, the mindset is already filled. I suppose pay you 10 lakhs per month salary, I mean per year, and after 6 months you lose your job. You make a benchmark that you are worth 10 lakhs in the market. Have you the guts to go to accept a job of 2 lakhs per month? I mean, something of the kind. At least for some time, even for 1 month or 15 days, and then come back to 10 lakhs. I mean, instead of being idle, instead of doing nothing, contributing to the nice society or the family or anything.
That's a big question. Yes.
I undergone through the stages. Yes, I accepted.
Yes.
I had 10,000, I accepted 3,000.
Yeah, so different choices. I guess we are coming to different choices that are available to us, and how do we pick the right one?
Yeah.
So I have one activity on this topic itself. So can we have one question for all?
Okay, we'll do it later. No issue. Just sharing.
Okay. Yeah. So one interesting activity actually on sustainability. So I'll just share my screen. And this is a thought experiment, we can say. Okay. But I would require everyone's participation in this. So please, I would require your answers. Okay. So just imagine that you have gone to a park, whatever nearby park that you have. Okay.
Yes.
And there some children were playing ball, and accidentally that ball dropped in a pipe. Okay. So that pipe is a hollow cylinder. Okay. That is fixed to the ground. So that is what detail you have. What would you suggest to these kids to get their ball out of the pipe? Okay, so this is happening in this way. The ball
Okay.
has fallen into this pipe.
Mhm.
Okay. And what would be your suggestion to take out that ball? So whatever details that you don't have, you have to just imagine. Okay.
Okay.
And please give me your best answer. Okay. This group is really vibrant with great experience that we all have. So let's see how many solutions we can generate.
In fact, just this very moment, my granddaughter is coming from the park only.
Oh wow.
Just entering.
Okay. So what is your solution? What is your solution?
Yeah. One is I even sometimes cut away the pipe so that the ball comes out for the happiness of the children.
Mhm. Okay. So
Being
yeah,
too
Siddesh has
extreme.
asked,
I would say start the water supply.
start the
Water supply.
okay water supply. So
Uh,
you will fill
I
that
will
with water, right? Okay.
I will say why there is a hollow pipe in a park in the first place. It's too dangerous because it's a systemic problem where the ball will keep going inside and children might harm themselves while removing the pipe. If the pipe is
Okay.
bigger, they might fall into the pipe themselves. So it's a systemic issue. I will not look. Of course, we will try to solve the problem, but we have to ask deeper questions as to why the pipe is there in the first place.
Right. So maybe your solution, what I see, you will remove that permanently, right? So
Yeah,
if
remove or yeah, whatever, or have to cover it up with permanent lead.
perfect, perfect. So I can get some of the answers. First is fill it with the water. Second is, let's say we will start the water supply. That was one answer, right? So you are assuming that that pipe is for the water, right? To carry the water. I hope that is the assumption. What are the other solutions?
Build
Is it
pressure.
possible? Yes.
Build up the pressure inside the
Give
pipe.
us the
Pressure build up inside the pipe.
okay. So you will pick it with some device, right?
Uh, increase the
Okay.
air pressure inside the pipes.
Air pressure. Okay. So maybe vacuum.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. What is any other way? Okay. Vilas is saying, let it go. We will buy a new one. Okay. Perfect. We will try to design entire park. Think about it as a safe environment for children. Perfect. Yes. That is also one way. It's a design issue. Is there any other solution? Come on. Last 1 minute. Okay. We have one interesting solution. Rudrash is okay. Set a gum to rope, stick it on the ball and pull it out. Perfect. So this might be one solution. Okay. Any other some innovative solution? Let's see how many solutions we can generate.
Yeah. Get another ball for the children to play to keep them happy.
Okay. Absolutely. That is, I guess, tried and tested. Many of you are telling that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other solution that you can think of? Okay. Pour water and ball will float up. Okay. Perfect. All right. So I guess I should stop here with the answers. But as you can see, there are multiple solutions possible, and I'll also propose some of the solutions that I get in such kind of discussions because I haven't given you the cheats. Okay. So clues I couldn't give you in this online session, but clues are regarding the size of this pipe, size of the ball, and the material of the pipe and material of the ball. Okay. So when you assume, as all of you are assumed different details of, let's say, ball or different details of pipe, so there are multiple solutions, right? So one of the solution was putting water into that. Okay. Then second was removing the hollow pipe over there, or thinking about it as a systemic problem, whether it is required or not. So that is another question. And some of the answers that I get during such activity, one of them is we will have children have given such answers. So we will have a robotic arm. Okay, so that will pick that up, or we will have some, let's say, a rod which will, with the help of that, we will take that ball out. If the dimensions are, let's say, there is a lot of gap between ball and this pipe. So there are multiple options, and even some of the assumptions that we had where, let's say, if ball is having some metal ring over it, or what is the material of ball, so whether that is of wooden, or whether that is of rubber, or whether that is of, let's say, some stainless steel or some different kind of ball. It's not the regular ball that we are playing, so uh, we can use magnet. So there are multiple solutions, but one thing that is very sure is one solution may not be fitting with all other contexts, right? So everyone's solution would be unique with their availability. So someone might say that we will pour water, but let's say the water availability is one of the constraints, one of the requirement of that place, right? So whether water is available in that time or not, whether you can find that plug where you can start the water over there or not. So there are multiple things, but as you all can appreciate, one solution or each of the solution requires some fine tuning with space, time, and context. It cannot be copied from one place to another place. And the same thing happened with respect to sustainability as well. Okay, so we will see the differences as well. So in later next slide. But this is a wonderful quote from Forest Stewardship Council, which I would like to share. There are no absolutes about solution. A solution fitting at one place, you need to fine tune at other places. So that is very important thing that we have to understand. And of course, while doing so, critical thinking, understanding it properly, why it is being done. So it's very important. So everyone to has to do it, and multiple solutions are possible for the same problem. So if multiple solutions are there, just a minute. Yeah, sorry. Yes. So multiple solutions are possible for the same problem, and that's the case for most of the time. Many of the time, for one problem, there are n number of solutions available, and this is also applicable for industrial things or our work life as well. Which of the problem which of the solution we select, so that depends on the minimum energy criteria or sustainable solution. So on an average, generally, if we think whatever solution we pick, that should be sustainable, right? So if that is sustainable, then only we should go ahead with that solution. So that is something that we can correlate. First is understanding that solution requires fine tuning with specific context, specific time. And second is a solution should be a sustainable solution, or it should consume minimum energy. It should not damage the environment while doing so. So I guess these are some of the things which are important in this activity to think about it. And in one way, we all have problems, right? So like in previous slide, in this example, we have seen there was a problem for the children. They want to take out the ball. In the same way, we all have different problem in our different, let's say, life at different levels. But there are two common things with this is, first is if we plot it with x-axis on time and y-axis space. On x-axis, as we go to the right, so these are the eminent in the future. So maybe next week, maybe of today, tomorrow, next week. Then as we go to the right, next few years, maybe lifetime and children's lifetime. And on y-axis, it is proximity. So maybe for only me, concerning to my family, to my neighborhood, to my nation, and to the world. So generally, sustainability is all about finding the problems which are having on top right quadrant. So it's all about extending our perspective far into the future. So going towards right on this x-axis, and on the space, going away from our existence. So maybe there is a problem for people who are living away from us. So let's say in different country, different continent. So can we feel for them? Can we provide solution for them? So that is something is I guess sustainability is all about. And this is a graph actually. I'll also tell you from where this graph came. So this graph came from I guess 1972. One report was published, Limits to Growth. So this was a report first time questioned with systems thinking how sustainability or what is what is the limit of consumption on the earth. So whether can we consume with unlimited way the way Westerners especially were consuming the resources, and that's how this consumeristic way of living came to across world. So it's not now about only developed or developing countries. In every country, there are two regions or two layers. I would say first is developed and second is developing. Even in developed and even in developing countries as well. So yeah, so this is a way to understand how we build the awareness of problems. So yeah, so I guess this is sustainability. So extending our perspective to far into the future, and this translates into not to harm the resources. Second, we are not using toxic materials or toxic substances if we are manufacturers. So we are also thinking about resources. We are also thinking about people. We are thinking about people far into future who might use these items or uh, who might have to deal with the repercussions of this maybe toxic elements that we are using. So this is sustainability for me. And yeah, so this is the last slide, and I'll stop here. Yes, Suman sir, please.
Actually, actually, before 80s are like that, the want and needs, the the variation of the people, how they live, our barter system, how they, and our culture and our everything is imbibed into this. And that time it's not that much seen as a that much gap. After this, due to our population increase or so many factors, our needs and the gap, want and needs increased, and people are becoming more greedy, and they are seeing it as commodity. Uh, Everything they are putting some value, they are exploiting, and we are gone to that stage. We now what will happen. At that time also it is there, but that is not visible, or not, the people are not felt. And our nature, our culture already has that all these things, but uh, they have taken our inputs and take notions, and they found that thing. And as it is an international body, they are more uh, audible and like that, and all are following. It is not like Western. We should not differentiate because the whole universe is one. We are
Yeah,
Vasudeva Kutumbakam. It is we are nature, and we have to strive to see this as a single problem or single solution. Or, our
yeah,
thought process must be like that, so that
என்ன ரெண்டு courier வந்தது
we can see it is a not a,
ஆ?
and it is also an
ரெண்டு
opportunity.
courier வந்தது
We cannot
நான் வச்சிருந்தேன் இல்ல
tell that this is a this thing. Everybody knows solutions, and this is the opportunity where we can build a better planet. Or uh, if we all strive and act together, uh, we can
perfect.
do it.
Yes.
We
So
can, we
yeah,
can,
to
yes, we can.
yes, so absolutely we can. And to sum up your point, and then I'll go to Siddesh. So what you said was it's not only about Western thing, but as industrialization and as population. So what I see, how I see is it, population means quantum also increase, and at the same time, our agency may be consumeristic way of exploiting the resources or the grid, and at the same time, the capacity to influence all these resources, capacity to use this resource, and let's say emit more pollutants. So that has increased over this time, and that is one of the reasons of unsustainability. Over to you, Siddesh, please.
Yeah, I agree to Dhananjay, you and Suman as well, right? So, but one thing we have to first agree on is that there's a problem, right? That we can't consume at this rate that we are consuming women's and at a global scale what is happening. So that has to be agreed upon. I feel first of all that before moving to solutions, there is no agreeing on the problem itself. In corporates, even if there is ESG involved or whatever corporate governance, but there is no agreement on that this problem exists and there are limits to growth and we can't go on the way we are going. So that's where the problem lies, that we are not agreeing on the problem. So all solutions become symptomatic solutions, even ESG, I will say, right? We will do it for just for the sake of that we are, getting some amount of satisfaction by doing so. Okay, we are contributing in some way, but that is, I will say, a symptomatic solution. What the problem is, right? Why this has happened? We might blame individuals for consumerism, but the problem lies, as most of the climate scientists will agree and communicate about, is the fossil fuel industry. And their hold on their lobbying is so strong, their hold on media, their hold on all the resources, that despite even Exxon knowing that they had reported, their own scientists had reported that they are contributing to the CO2 rise when the people are consuming fossil fuels, they didn't bring the report out. Recently it came out that they had come with this report, I think in 75 or something, I don't remember the exact year. The problem now happens is, right, when such a powerful lobby is trying to influence all media, they are controlling most of the media, they are controlling the narrative, most because of which a culture of sustainability is not able to be there, right? Because people are not aware that, if you ask 10 people, go out and ask 10 people what are icebergs or what are glaciers, they will not know. So knowing that consumerism is kind of affecting the melting of icebergs is another story altogether. First, we have to know that there are icebergs to know that okay, whatever is happening is going to contribute to sea level rise, right? So these are deeper problems, but I feel the blame has to be shifted to fossil fuel industry because of their hold on media, on governments, on law, everything. They are controlling most of the governments. So decision making is happening at the top. Even if UN tries to say anything, since the governments are controlled by fossil fuel industry, not much changes. I don't want to be sound pessimistic. Individual actions and going out and talking and doing things actually make small changes can affect it. But unless fossil fuel industry, unless we stop consuming fossil fuels or extracting fossil fuels, the problem is not going to be solved. And all other solutions like removing CO2 through machines and all is not be helpful. We have to stop destroying forests. We have to stop extracting fossil fuels. We have to do that. Yeah, at least that has to be the start. Thanks.
So I'm just listing deforestation. Okay. So let's list what are the problems. So as you told rightly, so there are problems and we should accept there is a problem, right? Without which we cannot improve. So I have just listed what you suggested. These are the problems. And if there is any other problem, let's list. What do you think? Anybody would like to add? What is the problem? So what do you think there is a problem due to which we are not able to living sustainable life, because of which we are not achieving sustainability? So what do you think? Everybody can add.
Awareness can be one of the problems. Like, for example, if in society we are trying to segregate the waste, right? But we have brought a machine now to the composting thing. But only 15 people out of hundreds of families have agreed to do that. So why is that happening? There are other issues also, societal issues. I will not go into those issues. That's a different topic, or there's a lot of variables involved, so I don't want to go into that.
Right.
But the problem now is in the awareness that if I do a survey in my society, and I'm sure hardly 5% or 3% will be aware that whether sea level rise is happening, right? And glaciers and icebergs are melting. So first of all, the education and the literacy regarding climate change is not there, right? And because of why this is happening, because the media is controlled by fossil fuel. Like I will not name anything, but one of the news channels, most of the news channels are owned by fossil fuel industry now, and even in India. I don't want to name because you're recording, but this is happening right now. Just imagine what is happening now. Since they are controlling that, they will not cover news regarding climate change. Right. So the taxi driver with whom I'm traveling is really watching some new channel. He doesn't know about the climate change. I've met one auto wala only in Pune who was conscious about climate change, and he was even ready to put a board behind that climate change is happening. And this because he saw one news in some news channel, right? But it was dramatized. It was altogether dramatized. But this is the case. So if a news channel is owned by fossil fuel industry, it will against their interest to show climate change news, because then people will question
and
about
generally that is bias. Generally, what we say, where we consume information. So that is very important. The source. If we are consuming from a source which is already biased, we'll definitely land in trouble. So, for example, there is one organization which is contributing to many of environmental or social hazard, I would say. They are not sustainable, they are not environmental sensitive, but still they run such kind of campaigns under their CSR activity in the name of environmental conservation, and still people are okay with it. Means my concern is they are the one who are harming the environment, harming the water, but on the other hand they are running the campaigns and they are saying which is not truly sustainable. So there is a lot of awareness, as you rightly said, that is important. Yes.
Oh,
What else?
unless also people fight, there are citizen movements that happen, that people, rather than sitting at home, actually participate. Like if I am aware that the number of trees getting chopped in my area are too high, I can't just complain. I have to go out and, talk to politicians, write letters, do something about it. But I am never trained that way. So I have to now develop the skills of doing that. So it starts from that kind of training, how to do it. Maybe very few are able to. My father used to do that. He used to write letters to railway. He was an economist, so he used to write letters. I'm not able to do that. I'm not built with that skills, but I have to eventually. I have to at least have the vision to do that. So I can start. Recently I did on Twitter. I saw one manhole which was broken in Bandra. So I literally tweeted and tagged PMC and everything, and then it was done. But it was a symptomatic solution, because the problem, I will tell you about the problem, is that they are doing temporary solution. Again, it is going to be broken because the quality of that the lid is very poor. It's cement, and there is only one or two metal strings which keeps it pulled. So after a few time, so these are the kind of solutions we are doing. Most of them symptomatic.
Yeah. So that's a wonderful point that you have brought forward. So which is agency. The awareness should also include. It should not lead people to hopelessness, because generally what happens when we get aware about all these problems. So one
Also,
thing happens.
misleading advertisements, misleading ads.
Yes. So one way is
And also they are
misleading. Yeah.
misleading advertisements or
Right.
misleading ads, which are run by famous people or industry people itself, and somebody who are more influenced, and people will depend on them. And also rapid urbanization and all these things. We are move to a rapid, faster state, and we want to build a trillion economy or like that. We are, but the root, what is the root cause? We are not concentrating on the root cause. Suppose forest Amendment Act. They have changed the definition of the forest. They gone to that extent. They have changed the name and they are thinking only of the achievement of net zero goals. Or they want development or like that. And they have why forests are there? What is the need of the forest? Who are dependent? Who are the main stakeholders? Who are main people influence? They are neglected. 100 kilometers means suppose Sikkim, small states, 100 kilometers within their boundary. No EA is required, nothing is required. Anybody can. They have given the
Yeah,
way.
that's a
They
big issue. And
they made
government
the
should
way.
take care of it,
They
right?
made the way. Actually, that is created to make the way possible for investors or big people, so that they made the because if you go some petition or like that, we cannot because the amendment itself saying it is 100 kilometers. Then we cannot speak, we cannot
Yeah,
question.
agree,
There
agreed.
only we are they are cut the hands. They are so
But I
many.
But
will
I guess that is
I will
not
give it.
implemented, right? It is
No,
still in
no, it's
amendment phase.
already approved. You can
Hmm.
see so many already enforcements and they are happening.
But what we can do is give an example of what is happening in Pune. So Pune, they are destroying this Vetal Tekadi, which is a mountain with lot of. It's a forest actually in the city. So, it's a beautiful forest. So they are doing this, constructing this road in that, and these are activists are fighting for it. That it should not happen. They are doing this river beautification project, which is kind of narrowing the rivers by concretizing the, which was actually having trees like natural trees to protect the from floods, or give it a natural habitat. They are destroying and creating. Now what is happening, and because of the citizen movement and because of activists, few politicians are questioning that it should not happen, and now uh, at least we can do that we will vote to representatives who are taking our side of environment. That is one action we have the right for at least once in 5 years. So that is we should see which politicians are talking about the environment, who are trying to protect the forest, who are trying to protect citizen rights, who are trying to give us clean drinking water. So these are questions that we should ask, and maybe we should be educated how to write IPI, because the Right to Information
Yeah,
Act is gives this
that is
power,
very
right?
important.
So these are all things we can do as citizens, which we are not trained in, but we can attempt to, because we are educated. At least we can go into the internet and learn ourselves how to write IPI. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
generally
for
that is.
example, you take Sonam Wangchuk is fighting for so many days, and people also they are supporting. They are doing peaceful way. They are and they are asking normal demands, and it is already promised by the previous government and all. They are just asking what they have promised, and they are asking their rights, and they are not asking any extra uh, like that. And till now, nobody has gone to them, and they have done 144 section and all these things. What is this? They are
Yeah,
asking
so
their
making
normal.
maybe making every citizen responsible, and at the same time, if we could somehow make all politicians responsible and aware about what is happening about environment and how they can contribute. So maybe I can say only one solution over
They
there
are
is
already
awareness.
aware. It's no question of awareness. They are already aware, and it is a very critical issue. Ladakh is a boundary between China and India. And,
Mhm.
it is a border of Pakistan, and so many things. It's a very critical area where we should
Right,
think of so many issues. But nobody heard.
right. No, agree.
So
The
no single
problem is there.
member of parliament is there. They are asking to increase the parliament member, they're asking their right and they want separate district and all these things.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what my point of view is, so agree there is a problem. Agree there is a solution which let's say can be implemented by some other person. So let's say we can say that there is a politician and who can solve this problem. But we don't have that much agency, right? We are not able to influence that person. But whatever is in our control, so whatever is in our current agency, that we can do. So according to you, maybe what is that one thing that we can do, one thing or two things that a person can do. So at least we should try from that, right? So maybe awareness with fellow
So, but
people.
policy and all these things, these are very critical because there only they are giving free hand, and how we can go further because there is no baseline to because no anybody can question. Court also may question. This is as per the act. They are doing. They have
Hmm.
permission. Policy level also very difficult.
Yes.
But,
So what is the
So
solution?
suppose if you
that's why
see,
voting is so important. You know, like we at least elect politicians who are started talking about environment, who are like for example, there are politicians who are saying that once we have voted, we will protect Vetal Tekadi. That is the mountain I was talking about, right? So even if one politician says that, gives that promise, I'm going to vote for that politician because it's trying to protect the mountain which others are trying to destroy. So that is a good thing for me. Like what happened with RA Forest, right? Your example. Or you take there are a number of examples. So there are politicians who are trying to take the side of environment. So why not? At least we can start there.
suppose if you see recently, I've seen one news in European election or America elections. People are asking their due action on climate, what action you take and what promise you give. They are asking that questions and they are demanding the answers. Then they made it a agenda and uh, they are bound to tell the people and then only they told that type of thing is lacking in India. They do
Yeah.
promises and all and everything, but uh,
Yeah.
after
Somehow,
the
somehow
election,
in India, climate change has not become a prime election agenda, maybe, right? So
no, they made also just for after that again they will not. See, Modi also example of Prime Minister that he has ruled the world, mission life, so many things, but nowhere in his speech or anything or any
But
political person, nobody is talking or
there
their
is
man. They are
also
not
there's a
included.
sorry.
They are not included anywhere. Or they are not speaking
Mm.
anything.
yeah,
Just
interesting point actually.
This
Mission life, uh, it's very great concept, but how do we do it? That is the question. So
also just
yes,
one last thing. There's
yes,
also
Siddesh.
one thing, you know,
commitment,
which I
commitment.
recently read was about, you know, that most of the people who are facing the climate change are the people living in rural areas, like the farmers, right? Everything. Now the problem is, or the heat waves that are happening. You know, we in the cities will live in our air-conditioned rooms and, you know, be able to. You know, the problem here is happening is they are not able to relate why this is happening, even when
Hmm.
they are facing it,
Hmm.
right? So that's where the problem lies. How we are going to tackle the problem? That they are the ones who are facing it, and they have no idea why they are facing it. Or maybe they are like in the I think in Maharashtra they are already, so because water crisis is happening, so they know why it is happening. But the fundamental problems that I said, like they are unable to say that it is happening because of fossil fuel industries. This should be known by everyone that this is a criminal lobby. You know, this has to be made aware to everyone somehow.
So yeah,
And
absolutely, I
also,
agree.
and also,
Yes.
national green tribunal is there, but every state also must have some green tribunal so that the issues will be solved. They can be consulted and they can know the better the local situation and all. Okay, environment minister is there for every state like that, but tribunal are strict guidelines, strict regulations, strict laws, strict this thing. At the national level, it is there, but at the local level or state level, it should be there so that some problems or some issues which are can be solved easily by the state level or like that. If we have our own green tribunal or like that, it can be easily addressed and you can and we should give some special powers so that they can do better all these things. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
if
So
positions are in like that, cannot should
yeah.
be
So drawing two
separately.
parallel things from what you both said, uh, having, let's say, National Green Tribunal also having all the power, let's say, all the things that legally we can provide to them. Just recently, I read one good thought actually. So that was, learning should not lead to knowledge. Learning should not just lead to knowledge. It should lead to action. So in the same way, what Siddesh also said and what you also said. So maybe in the case of awareness, just making the information available for all, just learning about this thing is not enough. We should work for enhancing our agency, whatever we can do. How do we, let's say, enlarge our circle of influence, and how do we contribute in a bigger way through our action, not only just maybe
Also,
thoughts. Yeah,
I will like to add
Analyze
to it. I will
how
like to just
how we can channelize the things. We have to see the
getting it
ways.
done.
I will just
Analyze.
like to I will just like to add to what Dhananjay said, that what happens is, sometimes we are not able to act, because of a lot of issues, because of our past histories and how we are brought up, whatever. The problem happens is that, and we give up. That's
Right.
why I keep telling about that vision is important, that even if you can't act now, you have that vision of sustainability, right? I have a vision of sustainability. I talk about it, I articulate, and that's what I started doing. And I have started, that is making me slowly act, so that is also a powerful mechanism. Even if you're not able to act because of your circumstances, you at least start talking about it and sharing it with the world what you know, and that will make you act eventually. So yeah.
Yeah. And starting small is the uh, really helpful. And I'll just elaborate in just 30 seconds. What is starting small? So let's say I decided not to waste my food. I decided not to waste my, let's say, water, whatever I'm drinking. So this is very small action. Someone might ask that what is the benefit for environment, right? So if the quantum is such a small, how would that affect to entire world, right? But every day when we are doing the same thing, when we are taking care of the environment, let's say with small action, so maybe that is not contributing in a large way, but at the same time, our own belief that we want to do something, so that gets firm every day, by every time we perform that act, and maybe over the time we get more agency and more power to change the things. So that is the one way to look at these things. Yes. Yeah,
Hello?
and with this, yes, conscious living is the thing that we should have.
Hello?
And yes,
Can I speak?
yes, Ramakrishna sir, please.
Okay. I just wanted to share. I'm talking way back 93, 95,
Mhm.
when city of Chennai was having a water problem. There was one house near some extreme outskirt where they were depending on what only rainwater for last 8 or 10 years without taking any other source of water. I mean, one family. They have been living only with the rainwater. They are able to save it, put it in their well, and from there they are able to pump it up, and whatever it is, they have been doing it successfully. Until now, they are also doing. I'm away from the city for last 15 years. Similarly, there's one colony in Anna Nagar in Chennai where they had the water tap from the rainwater from the roof and all, and stored it, and then had it for their whole colony. So individually we should act. Therefore, what happened immediately? It struck me. Why should I not do for our own apartments? We are about 15 blocks. All the roofs of 15 blocks, I got it connected through pipe into the 2 wells we were having. And every 6 months, I used to clean the ground this thing of the well, so that the water storage is better. And last 30 years, we have been successfully able to give fresh, nice, good quality water, though being so close to the beach, but no discoloring like black or brown and all, which all others all used to experience in the neighborhoods and all.
Great.
What I wanted to share is individually we can act, not necessarily looking every time government should do or some other organization. And we should step an example for everyone collectively. This is just
And
my thoughts and sharing.
yes, great, great. Thank you so much, sir. And when we act, actually, we get that confidence to tell others. So let's say if I'm saying everyone that yeah, we all should become sustainable, and if you look at me and I'm not living sustainable life, then others will question the integrity of whatever I'm saying, right? So if you are doing something like you said, so water conservation, you are saving water, right? So when you have the authority to tell others, otherwise
Yes.
it's just a
Yeah,
theory
also,
concept here
but
and there.
I have kind of contradiction to that. Like, so the problem with this happens is with respect to something called as appeal to hypocrisy. So if you see, for example, Dia Mirza talks about environment, right? And there are these others who rich people who will say, oh, she is she is going using a car, but she's talking, but she is having a much bigger impact by talking in a stage where she is
Right,
about protecting forest and all. So
right,
appeal to hypocrisy should be slightly carefully used, I feel, because that's a fallacy we should be aware of. That's the only thing I want to
that's
say,
true.
because it's about coming together, and talking also is important, and then action, how much action is happening at the stage. But
Right,
otherwise this will be used by climate deniers against us. You because sustainability again is a subjective term, right? That someone will say, Arey, you are not sustainable even if you are doing enough, right? So that we should be careful of. Yeah.
So maybe on this topic, what you said. So when we create awareness about sustainability, environmental conservation, maybe we should have more introspection, what we should do, what we are doing, and then we should talk about others, that this is possible, but we should not focus more on others, because that will
Yeah.
lead to progress, right?
Yeah.
That should be one integral part of sustainability or awareness that we are talking about. Yeah.
Here I would like to share one more point. Near Deep Root South, near Arupukote, and from Madurai, about some Arupukote is a very dry area. There's hardly any water kind. So, from a US based organization where my brother is leading, so on behalf of him, I started doing groundwork for these villages, about 20-30 villages. They are having a dry pond. Got that full dry pond into an active mode, and then water was collected, and from there we helped them to um, check the quality of the water, and then help them to pack in a nice. I gave them a machine to pack the water in half-liter and all, so that they are also having source of revenue in that area, in the village and whatever it is. And in the process, the whole 30 acres got fully with nice, good agriculture, and everything happened with that small water what they were able to collect it and do it, which was dry for more than 50 years or 100 years. But then they had a confidence. I'm just sharing.
So
So
yeah,
when I
no,
joined,
yes. Sorry, continue. Sorry.
no, when I joined the organization in this field of agriculture, I acquired almost 20,000 acres in different states. Okay, and then my position was to acquire the land, also to help them all cultivate and do everything. Though I am in a purchase general manager or vice president purchase, but still I took an active role in the agriculture and all those things, understanding their needs and everything. So I found there are many areas where water was not available. I found out which types of fruits or vegetables that can be grown with minimum water, and how we can design the particular area where the plantation is done in a elliptical or something way that water goes exactly to the root without wasting here and there, like this and that. and it became all sustainable. I mean,
Wow.
you can't believe Alfonso being grown in Chennai, which is a popular this thing about the only Pune and Maharashtra. It was very well grown throughout in Tamil Nadu, in 2-3 places where we had landed. Planted. So like
Wow.
that, we started doing a lot of things. And just sharing, these are all very old 20, 30 years back experience. But still, I want to share with you that
No,
yes, you should have the guts, willpower, and the type of people to work for you.
so I just wanted to, say thanks for sharing that, Ramkrishna sir. And I feel, such stories needs to be shared, which are not happening at a scale that they should happen. Stories like what Ramkrishna sir shared, right? Because there are a lot of people who are working across India on such solutions, which are sustainable solutions, and how they are coming out, how they are shared across sectors is very important. Otherwise, we are going to lose so much of knowledge. So, yeah.
Also, I want to say that I recently attended a seminar where the expert told the Bangalore water crisis is not or like that, but there are some areas near the Kaveri that rice grown crops and all, rice paddy fields, they absorb more water. And the more part of the Kaveri water is going to that area and they are consuming. That is the main reason. But people are diverting and all these things are happening because the crops they are most of the water it is going to fields of rice crops and some other crops, sugarcane and all these things. That's why the problem is it is increased like that. But actually, it's not there. But yes, I heard from some expert in recent. I attended one seminar and he's a local expert from Karnataka and he told that is the main reason.
Okay.
Water crisis is there everywhere, but the belt which Kaveri uh, water is used or like that, it is feeding to the paddy and all these things. That's why paddy consume more water.
More water,
Uh,
right? So the problem is
but we
resources
have to
are
see
there but
the
uneven
solution.
distributed, right?
We have to see the root cause and all these things. Simply they are and other people they are just exaggerating their own.
Mhm.
Everything is there, but and
Right. So
that is the
resources are
thing.
there. How do we channelize it with in a proper way, uh, having equal access to all? So that is a bigger question. We might not be able to solve it in just 1 hour. But yes, Vishal, you have raised your hand, please.
Hi guys, first let me introduce myself. I am Vishal Ganeriwal, attending this forum for the first time. I run an initiative called We Cannot Defer Action, and Dr. Suman and Ramkrishna Gopal sir is part of that initiative. I also have a website called wecannotdeferaction.com, and there are 8 areas of concern which we want to work and bring citizens awareness and small actions from citizens to work in those areas. You guys can visit the website and have a look at it.
Sure, I'll
I
just
was very
share
interested.
screen.
We cannot defer action.
We
Yeah.
cannot.
We cannot defer action. DEFER, defer. I put it in the chat. You can.
Nice.
So,
Welcome, Vishal. Very nice to see you.
Haji, namaste, namaste.
So loving.
So,
Namaste, namaste.
namaste. We
I've been
Yeah,
cannot.
it would
regularly
be great
attending
if you
there.
can share the link. I'll just share on the screen as well. Yes.
I put it in the chat.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. I hope you can see the screen, right?
Okay.
Okay, I hope I have shared my screen. Hope it's visible. Okay, wonderful. Thanks for sharing. So I'll put it in our group as well. Yeah, so you were explaining about the action areas, right? Okay, great, great, great. Would love to hear more on this as well. Okay, maybe some other day. We have already crossed 15 minutes for today's discussion. Okay, all right. So there was one interesting comment uh, that I wanted to read before we end. So Vandit has shared, I heard an interesting line from plastic manufacturer, and that is, if a person kills someone with knife, then who will be responsible, killer, victim, or the knife manufacturer? So that is a kind of narrative that manufacturers or organizations have. So there is one interesting concept as inaction triangle. Maybe in next session we can discuss more on it. But in inaction triangle, on three sides, first side is of organizations, manufacturers. Second is of individuals like us, and the third is government. So everyone is pointing towards other that that person should do something.
What is it
That
called? Sorry.
me. Inaction triangle.
Oh, sorry.
Inaction triangle. So I
Thanks.
don't want to act. These two people should act. So that is something that we have. So how do we deal with it? So that's a bigger question. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for your active participation. And this is last invite if anybody would like to share
Yes.
anything. Otherwise, we can stop.
Yeah, last 2 minutes for me. I mean, I lost my connection, when I was
Yes,
about to
yes,
speak.
Vishal, please, please.
Is that okay, Dhananjay? Yeah.
Yeah, sure, please.
So maybe next meeting I can spend more time, and I am trying to collaborate with minds and hearts like yours that I see here, and kind of solve the problems that you've been talking about, learning, reading to action. And one of the mottos that I'm working on is small steps that matter. Small steps that can be taken by a large number of people, including yourself, that when taken on scale makes a difference. So I will take a number from Dr. Suman and call you and see how we
Sure,
can
sure.
collaborate. Because I
Sure,
think
definitely.
collaboration is the name of the word, and
Yeah, definitely. And we
if
would
we
like
can
to know
share our
more what,
strengths.
yeah, what you are doing. So maybe next week,
Yes,
next Saturday, we can have one session where you
yes,
can share
yes,
what
yes.
can be done, and we all can have, let's say, one action sheet in the next Saturday. What one thing that we can do?
I have a
So,
program in mind if we can collaborate and do it. It's just
sure.
the name of the program I want to call it is only small steps that matter. And that how
Mhm.
do you, create small wins in the life of people, which excites them to do more, and including awareness and action. So next
Wonderful.
time we can discuss, and if you don't
Sure.
mind, I can even call you in the next few
Sure,
days
sure,
and
sure.
one
Sure,
to
let's
one and
connect.
see how we can. Suman sir का
Yes.
number share कर दीजिएगा. Please share his number so that I can also connect
You
with him.
can, Dhananjay ji, you can share your number.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Okay, great. Then if
yeah, that will also
anybody
be
would
there.
like to share anything, you're most welcome. You can share.
Hi, this is Vilas. So,
Yes, Vilas.
yeah, so we have one group in Mumbai.
Mhm.
We call it as a clean air hub, and we want to involve all the individuals and NGOs or researchers who are keen on working on Mumbai's air pollution. So
Mhm.
this is like a like pressure group that we want to create in Mumbai. So this is just to support Mumbai's a clean air action plan. Like we will help BMC in implementing the clean air action plan, and
Great.
individuals can do their own campaign, and other NGOs can help the people. So if anyone is interested, then they can contact me. I will put my number in the chat.
Sure, sure, Vilas. Okay, great, great. This was wonderful discussion session and got to know about many different things. So thank you so much everyone for your active participation. It was wonderful to listen from you. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Good night.
One important thing I want to share. Today is our wedding day, and therefore a lot of calls coming from all places. So I couldn't fully focus in the meeting.
Okay.
Children,
Happy
grandchildren.
anniversary, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Happy,
you.
happy.
Sorry, that is why I couldn't fully focus. But I thought, as and when time came, I thought I should share some past experiences. Probably we can continue and do in something of similar kind and make it more lively for the present generations.
Definitely,
Next
sir.
time I will ask you what is the secret of sustainable marriage anyway.
Oh, sure. I can tell you. I can definitely share a lot. Sure. Very simple.
Okay. Okay,
only
thanks.
thing, instead of going to temple and God and all, you see everything in the better half.
Yes.
Who is 24 hours connected, and always every minute mistakes, even in your dreams also, she'll correct it. Leave about your physical.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Welcome.